10 years ago on Doz's Television Workshop.
Hello and welcome to Doz's TV Workshop. I've done a few of these sort of little Ekco radio receivers recently. There's one on the blog. There's another couple that we've also done. I've also got one myself to finish off. But this was given to me the other day.
And now it's time for the latest exciting episode of Doz's Television Workshop.
Hello and welcome back to Doz's Television Workshop, where today it's a bit of an episode of Somebody Sent Me Something. This has arrived from subscriber George, who had been chewing through the back catalogue of videos on the channel and spotted one I did 10 years ago for an Ekco U323 radio receiver. And it was a bit of a basket case, but I managed to get the thing going. And we were missing some bits. And George had also got a basket case for U353, and he repurposed it and made this. Anyway, he said, look, I've actually got no use for the dial glass and the knobs. Would you like them? So I said, oh, that'd be wonderful. I'll actually finish a project that's been languishing on the shelf for the last 10 years. That'd be great. So he's packaged the dial glass and knobs up. By the way, he made an excellent little fill-in panel. I should show you a picture here. So yeah, what an interesting way to repurpose something to house a Leek Vari-Slope preamp. Anyway, George kindly packaged this up. I've removed his address there to preserve his privacy. So yeah, let's hope it's very well packaged. So hopefully it's made it through the post all right. Crikey, we are super well packaged. So presumably that is our dial glass. Oh, this is fabulous news. The original plan was to 3D print some replacement knobs for it. Now, I didn't have a 3D printer at the time, nor any idea how to work one. And I reckon I could probably do it today, 3D print some knobs. And I did borrow a set of knobs from somebody, and I gave them to a friend of mine who then got involved with other things and never had the time to complete the task before the gentleman whose knobs I'd borrowed needed them back. So there we go. So I never got the chance to finish them. They're remarkably heavy, actually. And there's also some little bits of square cardboard in there, and there's actually the insulators for the dial glass. So yeah. Oh wow, look at that. Oh, that's far and above the one on my receiver. Absolutely wonderful. Look at the mirror effect. Wonderful. Right, I think what we need to do is to be very careful with the back. You can see that's where that white ink is, and it's the white ink that is falling away. It's exactly the same as that which has happened to mine, but this one is infinitely better. Right, so I suppose we better get the radio out and finish the job. Right, well, I've got mine down off the shelf. That's our main problem, is the lack of knobs. Now, because this is a chassis is connected directly to one half of the mains, these are therefore connected to neutral in this case, but equally if somebody messed up, it could be live, so they must have knobs on. And that's why, for 10 years, it's languished on the shelf. Oh, I'd forgotten about the back. Yeah, that's where the dropper has been hot and it's just eaten the back away a bit. Yeah, so let's get it out and let's get this dial glass replaced and see if it still runs after all these years. So let's get these screws out. And I seem to remember putting a new valve in it last time. It's a new output valve there. Right. So, how does the chassis come out? Does it just slide? Or have we got a retaining screw? Ah, okay, I can see two screws down there holding the dial glass on. You can see the poor state of my dial glass. So, how does the chassis come out? I think it just slides out, does it? Ah, screws underneath. There we go. The mains reservoir capacitor in there is dated 65, February 65, but whether that was original or not, I don't know. I would doubt it, to be honest. Right, are we going to escape? Yeah, so the ferrite rod aerial is just catching on the top of the cabinet there. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to want to desolder the speaker. There we go. Right. Let's pop the chassis out of the way somewhere safe. And those are the little cardboard squares that were included in the bag to retain our dial glass back on. So looks like we just undo these, swing these little brass, whether brass or what, the little spring tabs out of the way, and we should be able to get the dial glass out. Just ease the glass out. There's some like foam, not foam, some sort of fibrous pad there. It's not asbestos though. It's yeah. There we go. Come on out. And you can see most of the white paint on this one has disappeared over the years. Right. I'm wondering actually if I just take the speaker out and give this a bit of a birthday. I might just be able to get in there with a bit of foam cleaner actually. Yeah, I think that's worth doing. It's very sooty up on the underside in there, look. So I think that's worth a few minutes of my time. Do you know what? That's that bad. I'm thinking what I might do is go and pop it, take the speaker out and go and pop it in the sink. I think that'll be a better job. Oh, it really is grubby. No, go on, let's throw caution to the wind and let's get it in the sink. There are 4 standoffs behind the speaker. 2 have stuck to the speaker in this case, but there are 2 left there. I should put those to one side. Put the speaker to one side and get this lot in the sink.
we're having a nice day, I'm going to leave it in the sun to dry for a bit. Right, well, whilst that's outside drying, I just thought I'd try an experiment. Now, this is the old dial glass, and what I thought, to try and preserve the new one, I wonder if it's worth spraying the back of it with some lacquer to stop any more loss of paint. I mean, this dial's a complete loss, but what I'm worried about is the act of spraying it, whether the solvent in here will attack the paint and cause it to go smeary or run or whatever. So rather than, you know, committing and painting the new one, I thought I'd just have a little go with this one and see if that's successful. If it is, I'll paint the back of the new one. Right, let's just leave that for 20 or so minutes and see if there are any adverse effects. Right, well, it's been about half an hour and I think that's all right. It has, because I can't clean the back of the surface, it's possibly a little bit spotty, should we say, but you know, this is about preservation at this point, so it hasn't made it smeary, so I think I'm going to risk painting the new one. So right, let's get the old one out of the way, bring the new one in, and you can see the difference there on how much of the white paint is left. Almost none. So yeah, let's give this just a light dusting. And again, just leave that for about half an hour to dry, and then the case should be dry by now, to be honest. So yeah, let's get that back in and get it all reassembled. Right, well, this has come out even better than the first one, so really pleased with that. The case is very dry indeed now. I'm just going to fold that up out of the way for now, put it just to the back there. And because off camera I took off the bits of felt, hold the chassis etc. in place, so I'm just going to glue those back into the case. Which is looking a lot cleaner than it was. Right, I need some adhesive. And I'm going to go with a bit of Yoo-hoo. Other adhesives are available. Right, that's in place. That's going to take about 20 minutes to just set. But my wife's taking me out for a curry, so I'll see you tomorrow.
One pair of pants later.
Okay, it's the following day. All my glue has gone off, so yeah, what we've got to do now is reassemble it. So I'm going to start by fitting the speaker first. So the contacts go that way, which means I need spacers in those two there. So one there, one there. And now the tricky bit of getting our new glass in. Yeah, I thought that might be an interesting concept. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that's really tight in there. just maybe where the new glue is up behind it, it's expanded it slightly. Let's try again. It seems to be tighter at this end for some reason. Just gonna scrape a little of this away with a scalpel blade. See if that's made our lives any easier. There we go. We didn't want for much. So let's check that from the front. How's it look to you? Oh yeah, much smarter. Get the little clips back in now. Ah, we need those little insulating pads. Right, excellent. So, reunite it with the chassis. Yep. Right, is that fully home? We've got a nice pointer showing up, so that's good news. Pop the screws back in the bottom. Now I'm going to leave the back off for a minute because we've got a gaping hole in it. So what I might want to do is just back that with some mesh if I can find some. Okay, and we've got knobs at long last. So are they different sizes? They are. Okay, look at that. Excellent. And then we've got the outer knobs there. Little grub screw to do up. You'll notice the grub screw is recessed, so it can't get touched, because again that shaft of that pot could be a potential to be up at some voltage. Now I've got two of these knobs, and I have to say the one George has sent me, a little bit of damage on it. This one's looking a little bit better, so I think I might utilise this one. Make the best of it. Gonna need the screw opening out a bit. Perfect. Okay. Right. Good news is, I mean, look at that dial glass. That's superb now. So all we've got left to do is to power it up. Now it hasn't been powered up in 10 years. So do I bring it up gently on the variac? I think I do. So yeah, let's get the unsafe block. connected up in there. We'll put a plug on it in a minute. Into the supply from the Variac. The Variac is currently at it's at 0 volts now, going on. Okay, so we shall switch it on, and yeah, we'll pop it in medium wave for now, and I'm going to dim the workshop lights so we can get the arty shots of the valves warming up. Okay, so power going on. There we go, we're at 50 volts. We won't see much in the way of action at that voltage. Not drawing any significant current. I'm just going to put a lamp in. 100 volts. That's 150. I've got a very dim glow from a lamp. So we are obviously drawing some current. But it is very dim. Let's let it sit there for just a few seconds. And my lamp has gone out, so let's go a bit more. Sort of 175 volts. Might start to get something now. Can't see any heaters lighting as yet. Maybe scratching on the volume knob or anything? No. $200 volts. I'm just going to go back down to that and just snick the lamp out. Now at 200 volts. Oh, we've got a bit of action. Looks like our volume pot needs a bit of a clean. Oh, it's cleaned itself up. Right, let's go full chat. There we are. The heaters really aren't showing up at all. You can just about see up in there the VHF tuner valve is lit. You see that up in there? But yeah, it's a very dim display really. Anyway, what have we got on the front? We've got our indicator lamp lit up. So I have to say there's not a lot on medium wave at the minute. We haven't got an antenna connected at all. So let's try VHF. Ah, tell you for why, the antenna's in the back, isn't it? Yeah. That's why we're not getting a lot. Let's give it another. Put the lights back on. Hang on just 1 second. Very little in the way of reception.
I don't really know anyone else who could speak to that. I mean, speaking
That'll be why.
Is not a big deal, but in Malibu.
But like you could finding it becomes. It's like you got to seek it a little bit. It's not going to force.
There we go.
But nature's very quiet.
So that is working well. Good. Just needed that little bit of antenna. I seem to remember it being quite a good performer last time we had it on with its little exclamation mark magic eye tube. Excellent. Well, that's good. So all I've got to do is make up a bit of back. So yeah, let's see what I've got. Right, I found this piece of sort of mesh material. This is steel, I think. I suppose I can prove that by sticking a magnet on it, wherever my magnet's gone from this morning. Ah, there it is. Maybe it's just a quite stiff aluminium, or it could be a non-magnetic stainless steel, but it's quite robust stuff, and sadly it got folded at some stage in its life. Now if I just equip myself with a Sharpie, there we go. What I'm going to do, because obviously if I stick a piece on the back side that faces into the receiver, I run the risk of it short-circuiting to the metalwork, presenting us with a shock risk. But if I stick it on the back, yeah, it won't look very pleasant, but it's going to keep the prying fingers away from the valves that are there. And yeah, so I just need to mark out where I need to cut. It's going to be about there, and yeah, about there. So let's just mark that up as best I can. That's it. We just trim that out, flatten it down a bit because it's not particularly flat, and then get a bit of epoxy or similar and do that. Now I've got two methods of cutting. I've got a set of metal shears here. Trouble is they tend to bend the material up. Alright, I've got to straighten it anyway, but I've also got the nibblers here. I have got a set of air nibblers in the garage which would make short work of it, but I think we'll go with these. Excellent. You just try and straighten that kink out in it. There we go. Right, discard that for the time being. That'll do, I think. And now I'm going to attempt to just epoxy that into position, which might not be ideal, but it's all we've got. So I'm going to mix up some epoxy and just stick that down to where it's going to live with a bit of luck. Right, now I need something heavy just to hold that down while it cures. Right, despite this being rapid set epoxy, I'm going to leave that until tomorrow morning.
Early the next morning.
It's the following day, and the big question this morning is, have I glued it to the bench? No, I haven't. I have to say I'm surprised, but that's the panel glued in place. Right, good. There are no sharp edges on there either. That's an achievement. Right, let's just pop the back on and pronounce this one fit. Cabinet seems to be sloping down a bit, so what I'm going to try and do there is just pop a screwdriver in to space it up, do the screw up, and hopefully that'll hold it in place. And much smarter. And there you have it, the Ekco U323 dating from 1959. That capacitor was dated 65 inside, obviously been replaced some time in the past, but another project finished 10 years after I started it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Click like, subscribe, do all that rubbish, and I'll see you very soon here on Doz's Television Workshop. Cheers now, bye.
Workshop, painted walls, waves collide, hustle life.